As a Jamaican people, our history and our struggle for freedom brings to mind familiar names like Sam Sharp, Nanny of the Maroons, and Paul Bogle. However, as the struggle for full freedom for all Jamaicans continues, there are many aspects of Jamaica's journey that often go untold, one of which is the modern history of the LGBTQ+ movement in Jamaica. Long before the formal organizing of queer Jamaicans in the 1970s, early expressions of Jamaican queerness were often found in the literary arts. The notable literary icon Claude McKay, for example, published the 1912 poetry collection Constab Ballads that critics claim express queer Jamaican poetics. Queer organizing in Jamaica started with the Gay Freedom Movement, the GFM, which was founded by Larry Chang and other prominent LGBTQ+ Jamaicans. Born in 1949 in St. Anne, Jamaica, Larry's spirit of advocacy was influenced by the feminist, queer and black power organizing in the US during the 1960s and the leftist political atmosphere of Jamaica in the 1970s. In its early days, the initiatives of GFM included a youth program, the Gay Youth Movement, the GYM, a gay health clinic, the Gay Community Health Clinic, and 2 newsletters. First, Toilet Paper, which later evolved into the second, the Jamaica Gaily News, the JGN. As co-founder of GFM and editor of the JGN, Larry was propelled into becoming the face of Jamaica's queer movement of the 1970s. This was further bolstered in 1978 when he became the first person to identify as gay on a national platform. In a letter to the editor of the Daily Gleaner, he signed his name as a correspondent on the behalf of GFM. In 1982, when the first case of HIV/AIDS was discovered in Jamaica, Larry and the other LGBTQ+ vanguards were to become some of the loudest voices and most helpful hands in supporting the community through the Red Scare. Immediately, the GFM organized health clinics and published articles in JGN to help raise awareness among Jamaica's queer community. This early organizing was the seed for the development of what would become Jamaica AIDS Support for Life, JASL. JASL began in the late 1980s when a group of friends responded to the needs of a peer who had contracted HIV and was facing discrimination in the healthcare system. By the mid-1990s, JASL began to hold weekly meetings for Jamaica's LGBTQ+ community that were formalized into gay, lesbian, and bisexual community meetings. GLABCOM served as a major hub for queer Jamaicans in the 1990s. Then, by 1995, queer organizing had gone regional, and a queer activist organizing meeting in Curaçao that year birthed Caribbean Forum for Lesbians, All Sexuals and Gays, CFLAG. Back in Jamaica in 1997, the prison riots that broke out when it was announced that condoms would be distributed in prisons to stem the spread of HIV became known as the Gay Cleanse. These riots resulted in death and grievous harm of persons in the prison system considered to be queer. Encouraged by these events and the homophobic discourse that stemmed from it, in September 1998, a group of HIV/AIDS and LGBTQ+ activists and advocates who were exposed to GLABCOM and CFLAG gathered to discuss the forming of an advocacy organization. Thus, in December 1998, the Jamaica Forum of Lesbians, All Sexuals and Gays, JFLAG, was officially launched. Following the establishment of JFLAG, Jamaica has undergone some revolutionary shifts in its inclusion of LGBTQ+ Jamaicans. Some milestones on this journey include 2001's first ever written submission to the Joint Select Committee of Parliament, led by Donna Smith, and the celebration of the first public pride in Jamaica in 2015. In the years since Larry Chang stepped back from public advocacy, the lived outcomes of LGBTQ+ Jamaicans continue to improve. And while this happens, it is important that we continue to remember the contributions of forebearers like Larry Chan and the gay freedom movement, who started the fire that continues to fuel Jamaica toward truly securing equality for all.